Away from the big-ticket metro, boat, new massive systems that are sometimes dreamy, we may find low-hanging fruit solutions right in front of us through the existing informal public transportation system that we have in Lebanon. How realistic is that, and how feasible is that? This is where our distinguished first panelist will take us. ضمير قطاع النقل بلبنان, Dr. Tammam Nakkash, is a founding partner of Team International, an engineering and management consulting firm, established in a landmark year for Beirut, painful for some, but at least from here, a good year for Team as being founded in 1975. Dr. Nakkash is a fellow of the Institute of Transportation Engineers, ITE, and a fellow of the American Society of Civil Engineers, ASCE. He represents the Federation of Lebanese Engineers in the Transportation Committee of the Federation of Arab Engineers and in the Lebanese National Road Safety Committee. He was a chairman Levant of the UITP MENA region of its Center for Transport Excellence. For the last 25 years, Dr. Tammam's time was dedicated mostly to transport system studies in Lebanon and other Arab countries. Dr. Nakkash contributes regularly to professional meetings on topics of sustainable development and public transport regulation and reform. And during the past few years, he was a member of the OEA scientific committee and contributed to organizing several related events. Dr. Tammam, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Gustav, and good afternoon, everybody. Maybe good morning for some of you in different time zones. I'm pleased to be with you today, and I'll be talking very briefly now, but during the discussion, we probably can make things better. Still want to know how to change the, the screen to flip into another, flip to the other slide. Let me see.
Yes, hello Taman. I can help you with this. Do you see at the bottom 1 out of 11?
No, I don't see that.
You have a slide in big, and on the bottom, you have now 2 out of 11. Otherwise, I can do it for you if you want.
Yeah, let's go. Skip this one, please, and go to the next one. Yeah, okay. You can help me, please, whenever I reach the end of a page to flip to the other one. Okay. Now, in what context are we having this meeting this afternoon? Beirut, Port of Beirut's explosion, financial meltdown, scarcity of public funds, hyperinflation, and COVID-19. What a collection of calamities. Now, Beirut Urban Declaration, it seems it has to address itself mostly to things related to urban design, housing policies, preservation of cultural heritage, and similar issues. What about transport? Where does transport fit in this Beirut Declaration? Transport in general, and particularly public transport, are an integral component of the urban system. Transport policies in Lebanon have been either absent or misguided. Case in point, the CEDRO program originally included substantial unwarranted car-related investments in spite of the repeated calls by transport experts for a moratorium on all new highway investments until an organized public transport becomes operational. Next one, please. Next one, please. Now, the rationale of what I'm discussing today is the following. Greater Beirut Public Transport Project received in 2019 World Bank financing for a BRT line along the northern entrance to Beirut and a network of bus services in mixed traffic serving Greater Beirut expected to be operational by 2025, inshallah. Until a Greater Beirut Public Transport Project is operational, public transport is overwhelmingly, if not exclusively, provided by the informal sector. Moreover, a role for a reformed quasi-informal sector in providing feeder services is anticipated by the Greater Beirut Public Transport Project. Therefore, action towards reform of the informal sector is a priority in the short term. Informal transport services warrant being supported and subsidized. Subsidies should be tied to reforms, a carrot and stick approach. Informal public transport should be cross-subsidized by private auto owners with no recourse to public financing. Next. Next one, please. It will be demonstrated that a cross-subsidy approach will have only a minor financial impact on passenger car owners, while resulting in positive impacts on improved safety and reduced traffic congestion that benefits everybody. The proposed phase program will include, first, strict enforcement of roadworthiness of informal public transport vehicles by making mandatory vehicle inspection entirely free to the passenger red plate vehicles. Second, e-license plates for all passenger red plate vehicles at no cost to owners, nor a burden on public financing. Third, equip all vehicles involved in public transport with automatic vehicle location tracking devices. And fourth, a well-conceived scrappage and vehicle replacement program. Next, please. Informal transport operators and their syndicates keep protesting against vehicle inspection, claiming it is an additional financial burden, while in fact they want to continue driving polluting and not roadworthy vehicles. It is proposed to provide vehicle inspection free of charge and strongly enforced against non-compliance. Annual inspection fee for a gasoline vehicle is only 36,000 Lebanese pounds, and for diesel vehicle, once every 6 months for 85,000 liras each inspection. Based on numbers of licensed red plates, cars, vans, and buses, and the total number of registered passenger cars, if the total cost of vehicle inspection is allocated to the private passenger car fleet, the share of each private passenger car is only 1,500 Lebanese liras, an insignificant additional burden on a private car owner, especially that the positive impact on the society is appreciable. Second, please. The second thing I strongly recommend, e-license plates. Informal transport operators and their syndicates complained from the unfair competition from duplicate and forged red license plates. Number of illegal vehicles are substantial, 33,500 licensed red plate cars plus 10,000 illegal, 4,000 licensed vans plus 12,000 illegal, 2,000 licensed buses plus 1,500 illegal. Illegals constitute safety and security threats. No annual fees, no vehicle inspection. The only way to stamp them out is to issue e-license plates based on radio frequency ID technology. An estimate of the initial cost of the system, which includes e-plates with 100-meter active read range, roadside readers including batteries, 28 of them, handheld vehicle-mounted readers, 28 of them, plus dynamic database middleware and accessories, is $2 million. This is a one-time investment. If allocated to private cars, each will pay $1.50 plus $0.25 for annual maintenance. Any fuel subsidies and other regulatory instruments are to be managed via the system. Next, please. Vehicle tracking using AVL. Mandatory installation of vehicle tracking equipment on all public transport vehicles independently and or in conjunction with a scrappage and fleet renewal program. It allows geofencing for regulating service contracts on specific routes, can provide valuable information for transport planning and service optimization, provides important input for allocating and controlling any fuel subsidies entitlements, enables better schedule coordination between mainline BRT and feeder services. Costs include on-vehicle equipment, AVL, plus other add-ons for the control center hardware and software. A system can be configured for seamless upgrading, starting with a basic system capable of geofencing and movement tracking. The last thing is the scrappage and fleet renewal. Scrapping of public transport vehicles is usually designed for reasons including improving transport and reducing car exhaust emissions. Such programs require very careful planning and thorough financial analysis and investigating PPP opportunities. Other motives for scrappage include reducing traffic congestion, regulating the public transport sector, improving the performance of public transport vehicles, and the economic livelihoods of people employed by the sector. Motives for scrappage programs vary from one city, country to another. There are many experiences worldwide. Cairo's is one of the successful programs, and Bogota's was part of a larger initiative aimed at addressing the pollution problem, congestion, and traffic delays through an integrated approach that included heavy investments in BRT. Public support to scrappage and fleet renewal should be restricted to public transport vehicles in the short term. Financial incentives for replacement of internal combustion engine private cars by hybrid EVs and electric vehicles is currently not warranted. Reducing total vehicle kilometer travels should be the target. So the takeaways are the following. Informal transport is currently essential but needs support coupled with regulation. Subsidizing informal transport is warranted, especially in the absence of organized public transport. Subsidies should be tied to reforms, a carrot and a stick approach. Informal public transport in the short term should be cross-subsidized by private auto owners with no recourse to public financing. The first step is free vehicle inspection coupled with strict enforcement. The second step is e-license plates with no financial burden on informal transport operator to stamp out duplicates and forged plates to enable managing gasoline subsidies if adopted. Third step is to install tracking equipment on all public transport vehicles. And fourth step, prepare for a well-conceived scrappage and fleet renewal program. I think what I have said raises many questions, so we'll have to deal with them during the session. Thank you very much for your listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tammam. A very practical, concrete solution as we think about bigger solutions and plan them and delay them. This could be a very interesting one to leverage what we have and to transform a little bit our transportation at some scale already.